Is this thing on? Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. My audio is a little bit messed up. Let me get into 3ds Max here, and then into the Somnium Space Web Worlds SDK. Well, soon I'll be getting the SDK, but actually not yet, because you're watching the twice a week stream here on the streaming channels that you're watching on. Welcome, everybody. I will be monitoring the chat on the Twitch and on the YouTube. So jump into those if you want to communicate with me. I'll be checking in on those in a minute. Today, I'm going to be starting a multi-day web world build here. It's going to be a museum of portals to other web worlds. But I'm just going to be making the structure today, and I'm going to be speed building this thing like crazy. I'm going to be using 3ds Max mostly because today is going to be mostly design with laying it out, building it, and doing a light bake, maybe not the final light bake. I'm going to try to do all that right now and get it onto a parcel maybe next session, and rig up all the portals and stuff to make sure that they look good too. But this is to demonstrate if you have various parcels, you have different parcels, and you want to be able to create like a hub and you link out to them. This is how you would do it. And I'm going to try to make this a VR friendly kind of build here by baking everything and just trying to make it look real nice. And I'm going to try to do it in record time. This is what I call hard mode stuff when you're breaking into stuff like Blender or 3ds Max or Cinema 4D, ZBrush, Substance Painter. We're not going to go that deep, but we are going to do a whole bunch of stuff in PlayCanvas or in 3ds Max here. Get it into PlayCanvas editor, into the Web Worlds SDK. Let's do it. First things first, in your 3D design tool, make sure that you are in the correct units that you want to be in. I like making my units native for the target platform, and I know the engine I'm targeting uses meters for the unit of measurement, which is kind of weird to use in a lot of 3D apps because it's so big. So if you're making small things, it becomes difficult. However, I'm making fairly large things like a whole room, set of rooms. Okay, cool. Now let's think of a design. Let's not think of a design. Let's go to Runway and use AI to think of a design. Because why think when you have a calculator? Over here, I'm going to do text to image. I'm going to say futuristic art museum. Whitewashed. Or I'll just say futuristic modern art museum building. It's a lot of weird words I threw at it there. While that does its thing, I'll just... Oh, well, that was fast. Okay, those are cool, but I was thinking more like an interior. I'll do one more of those and then I'll look at an interior. I'm going to make Gordon Pillman here to get the scale of how big to build things. So, hero size, like Gordon Freeman, is 1.88 meters, and then the radius is however chubby Gordon is that day. Let's make him about that big. Okay, so there's how big a person is. I'll make him orange to honor Gordon Pillman there. Okay, those are cool. I don't like them. How about building interior? Interior of a futuristic modern art museum building. Okay, that's more like it. Let's try again, because those are too grand for building. I don't know, this one maybe is not too grand. If I'm going to have a bunch of portals in it, I don't know. Maybe I'll audible and just make that hallway. This reminds me of the Left 4 Dead mall right there. That hallway would probably be pretty easy to make. The bank on it would also be pretty good. It would just be a hallway, but I don't know. I'll click generate a couple more. I could refine my prompt. I'm not. I'm being that lazy. I'm too lazy for AI. Let me get into the chat. It's like all you have to do is describe what you want better. But no, I'll just work with what it wants to give me. I'm in. Okay. Okay, maybe I will refine it. Interior of futuristic modern art building. No more than 2 stories tall. That's a lot of stories tall. Lots of rounded corners. We'll give this in one more shot before it's like, well, maybe I will do this hallway idea. Now, if I do this hallway idea, can I still combine that with the portal idea? Yeah, okay, let me see here. There's a big hallway. That's most of the stuff. The portals could be just one section of it. No stairs. Okay. Now, what would the portal doors look like? So let's put a different prompt into here. Okay. Metaverse portal doors in a futuristic. Well, that's interesting. Try one more. For some reason, this one looks interesting too. Not very. I believe these are the winner. Okay, so I can make a row of those in here. Right there. I got the same wall on each side. Okay, I got it. I got it. Here we go. It's going to be mostly this image and this image for the portals. But these portals are going to go against the wall over here. All right, let's be glorious. Glorious. I could pay attention to how many meters I'm making this thing, but I'm not going to care that much about how many meters I'm making this thing. I'm going to be Booleaning this thing. I'm speedrunning this, by the way, so I'm going to be using lots of pro Boolean, and I need this, and no UV mapping at all. And I need it to be fairly spacious, but not too spacious, because I'm going to be baking light, and I don't want it to take up too much texture space. Okay, how's that? That's a pretty big building. That's okay. We're gonna roll with it. Our material, it doesn't need to be a GLTF material, but I'm gonna give it a GLTF material because it can be a GLTF material. The reason why it doesn't matter right now is because I'm gonna be baking this out. So the material that I assign could be anything. The thing is, I'm assigning a solid color material to it, so I can bake it out at a low resolution to not be able to tell. Since I don't need to care about UV mapping at all, I can just stretch things like this. Okay, and then We're going to have this framework framing the thing in a few places. It'll be like this. I'm only going to be making half of this building and then cloning it to the other half. What the hell shape is this? This is not. This is a real shape. Yeah, this is a real shape. Okay. Let's make this a real shape. So I've been playing a lot of Payday 2, getting good at baking stuff. Well, Payday 2 VR. Payday 2 VR has, it's optimized for VR, so it does a lot of baking in it. And paying attention to that, I learned some tricks, especially because I'm running around that game in VR, and you can really see things pretty detailed in VR. And very much like optimizing towards VR, when you optimize towards web, you got to be pretty hyper optimized. If you want to run in like mobile VR mode on stuff like a Quest 2, things like that. Okay, there's some stuff, and let's try to put a chamfer on this. And also on this one. Okay, how's that look? Yeah, that looks acceptable. It's kind of big, though. Just squash it around. The AI concept artist will not be offended that we changed his design some. Okay, so that's going to be going along the base here, this long building. Then I'm going to be subtracting all those things out, and then up here there's another column of something similar to this. So why not just use this again? Okay, and then the scene. Good. Okay, looking good. That will be our flip there. Now we need this brace going across here, and then what's at the end of the hallway? A bunch of vertical glass. Okay, ours will be similar to that, but a little different. Okay, let's make it happen. Oh, let's save it. Now let's cut a hole in this. Right? Yeah. Excuse me. Okay, now I can attach all of these. Okay. Make sure all my vertices except for those two are corners. Okay. And now it's time to extrude these. Okay. There is a doorway frame thing. I'll roll with it. And now there'll also be one of those on the other side. Call it hull cap. Make sure that this is an instance. Okay, looking good. Now, let's get some hallways, windows in here, like those. This is a Unix system, I know this. If I cut this out, then I bring them in and then bevel them in, that won't exactly be that. If I cut them out, then I bring them in and then I extrude them out, then I can get that. Okay, so there's going to be a couple round pillars between the doors, but everything else is going to be windows. Okay, so the left side is going to be different than the right side on the bottom. On the top, they'll be the same all the way through. So let's start with the windows on the top. On the top, the windows are twofold. We are going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections of windows. 1, 2. It's just one window per section. No, let's go 2 windows per section. A double window though. Okay, we're going to do a double window per section. And the first double window section is going to be right here. Double window section, huh? Damn. I'm gonna have to do a double window section like this to make things easier with my plan I had a second ago. Yeah, let's do that. So this is gonna be capped out there. Did I assign this? I hope so. Window, window. Okay, in addition to that, we're going to have windows up here. Okay, let's boolean those out and make something happen. But what I make happen, I want it to be separate from what's happening down here. So down here, I want this to be two different pieces. That piece, and then this piece. That'll do. Okay. It's this piece that's going to be getting subtracted. Okay. Let's make it happen. So this piece, let's get subtracted from there. Okay, there's some windows, but those windows aren't done yet. No, they're about to get a little more epic. Are they? I mean, they gotta get a little more epic. Yeah, let's make them a little more epic. So this was too tall. Okay, we're good. We're gonna be super low poly. That'll be good for our bake. Yeah. Then that's just about done. The bottom part's gonna be a little bit different. Let's raise this up some. Just about that much. So we have a little bit more room here because we do want some round pillars down here. Just about right. Okay, and then why not just make it go up higher like that? That'd be neat. Anything else that I want to go with that? Yeah. Maybe not. Maybe that's what I really want. Okay, that makes sense. And then we don't need any of that stuff, and we don't need as many of these, because we really only need a slice from negative 90 to 90. Yeah, that means that this could be brought way down. Like that. Okay, looking good, looking good. And now we're going to change this to an editable poly. And wipe out some of these unneeded surfaces. Because we're getting real here. Alright, now let's get that same thing happening on the other side eventually. But before we do that, we got to figure out a few things. One, this can be optimized, but I got to optimize it in a certain way. Oh, cool, it's going to be easy peasy. These things need to be detached but not removed to make the light bake look good. And these need to be removed. That needs to be removed. Okay, that does it for that piece. How about these pieces? These pieces should be oops, that and that and that and that. All need to go over here. And then spin around back where I want it. Okay. this one. Okay, a couple more things to optimize on this little arch. What's up, 420? Cable detached. Happy St. Patty's Day, everybody. Already detached, right? Because there it is, but it doesn't need. This one. This one doesn't need that. Did that also take care of them here? Nope. Okay, so this is looking good now, and I need to grab this, and this is going to be all the back faces, so I'm going to attach that back face and that back face to it. And then that should be all the back faces. Yeah. All this is the front. Okay, we're good. Okay, now what? Now, a couple things remain. That's going to be different on each side. On one side it's going to be windows, on one side it's not going to be. Okay, and then these can all get merged in together real quick. Oops, something like that. Cool. Okay. looks good there. And this one, I believe, already looks good. All right. Now, I got to detach the back faces on a couple of these things. The reason I have to detach the back faces is because I'm about to bake the light, and I don't want to eat up texture resolution on back faces. However, however, they need to be there when the light gets calculated. Otherwise, light will pass right through this wall. Like the skylight will pass right through this wall as if it doesn't exist. So there's like this little outer shell kind of thing going on here. But now we're good. We're pretty much good to clone this thing to the other side. Here's how that's going to go. We're going to, since the pillars are the same everywhere, I'll just keep them over there and I'll attach them to that. And since this is the same as the thing above it, I could attach that as well. That also means that this down here might not be needed. No, that's needed. Okay, that does mean that this up here is not needed, right? Yeah, that's not needed. And the side things are not needed either. Okay, now we got a pretty optimized chunk here. Let's clone it over to the other side. Okay, I am going to clone the whole thing. Oh wait, I didn't attach this part, did I? Let's attach these things together too. So the inside here should be attached to the inside there. Yeah. And these things also. So there's the inside, there's that thing, there's the outside. I just think, am I ready to clone this? Yeah, because I have to finish this up in like 45 minutes. It can be done. I'm speed running this, so let's just roll with it. Clone there. Okay, copy. Yeah, there we go. Move this thing back out. How's the alignment over here? It sticks out a little. Oh yeah, I know where the alignment happens at. It happens up here. There we go. We got the hallway based on what the AI generated. It's looking pretty good so far. There's a couple things remaining to do. But who knows how the light bake's going to look on all those hard edges. But we will soon find out. I got the caps on. Everything's looking good. Okay. Now the portal doors. The portal doors, maybe I'll come in and I'll add those next time. And I'll just focus on the side that's not portal doors. Let's make this the side that's not portal doors. Okay. So on this side we'll have yet more windows because I'm going to put a cool skybox on here before today's session is over, hopefully. So here we'll have some windows like this. Yeah. Maybe we'll have them every other window, or every other section. Yeah, that way there's not too many windows. Okay, we're looking pretty good here. Let's get those windows in. Okay, and then I should probably do the same thing. Yeah, okay. So this is going to be mirrored on the same way on both sides after all. Because I have those spaces every other section to put doors, so I could put portal doors on each side. And this is detached. Okay, we're looking pretty good here. So this and this I want to be cloned after I move it like so. Mirror it. Finish putting it where it wants to go. Okay, that'll be it. Now, the remaining thing I'm going to do before I do this bake is I got to carve something out of the floor here. So I could use a tiled texture. There's going to be one tiled texture in this whole thing. It's going to be the floor, because otherwise there'll be a whole lot of texture space that I'd have to burn for this floor to bake it. So we're going to grab this thing and we're going to make a big old floor. We're going to make it take up the whole thing like this. Yeah. It will be that deep, and it won't run the whole thing. It will just run this length. Okay, so that's this thing becoming a pro boolean to subtract that thing. Looking good. And then over here, that goes away. No, that's going to stay there and get changed. These things all go away. Grow. And we're ready to bake. Yes, sir. All right. Save. We're going to save as. Copy this thing because it's about to get baked. Now I have to think about lighting. Oops, I didn't even think about lighting. So let's do that. Let's generate a 3D skybox. Using AI. I turned off the style words. That may have been a poor choice. While this is generating my skybox, I'll catch up on the chats here. Happy St. Patty's Day. Yes, sir. And what's up? 420 in progress. Thank you guys for tuning in here. Okay, this is not exactly what I wanted. Let's try this. Oh, it's a mirror. Mirror's edge. So it made a mirror. All right. Well, it's not really a mirror. That'll do. Okay, we're going to download this thing, and then we're going to go to HDRI to QMap, which is a GitHub thing this guy made. It's awesome. It processes the stuff locally right in your thing. Over here, I'm going to open that and save it as a PNG, a huge PNG. I think I saved that to my desktop. Maybe not. I saved it to my downloads. Okay, there's that. Cool. We're going to turn it into a cube map. What direction do we want forward to be? I think that. Then to the left is that, and to the right is that. Actually, it should be that. Yeah, okay, so there. That's forward. Okay, I'm going to process this thing to get it into the web world. However, in the editing tool here in 3ds Max, I don't need to convert it to a cube map. I could just go to this menu over here and do this. Just like that. Okay, so there we're going to be like in the sky. That's fine. I'm not going to sweat the outside very much at all. Let's do this bake though. And to do the bake we need lighting, because right now here's what it would look like in the Arnold render. Not too bad, and the reason is it's because it's using the environment, the image, to light the world. That's nice. So we got like this default kind of lighting already in there, but we're gonna take it up a notch. We're take it up several notches, and we're gonna do it really quickly within the next 20 or so minutes. Rendering environment, lighting. Okay, we're going to add a light over here. I'm just going to use an Arnold light because I'm set up for the Arnold render. I'm going to decide what direction I want the light to be peering in from. Based on the skybox direction, it could be really from anywhere. Let's do this direction though. And this thing, I'm going to make it a distant light. Okay, so that amplified that light, I believe. Let's find out. Yeah. Okay, that's a good start. That's casting the skybox light in on us, but we want a little bit more than that, I think. Maybe not. Let's see. Resolution, rendering, samples, intensity. Okay, this is looking pretty awesome, and one thing that's awesome about it is it's being completely lit by the skybox image. And I think this is what I'm going to use to make my bake. This is what the bake's going to be. No, actually, I'll throw a couple more lights in it. Here's the thing. It doesn't matter how many lights I put into this because I'm baking this out. I can put as many lights as I want, and it's only going to impact the render time, not anything during runtime. See how it looks when I put one light over in the center. Right here. How does that look? It's a little bright there. Okay, I think I can do 2 lights like that. And I know where I'm going to put them, and then I'm ready to do my baking steps. We can put one of those over here, and then one more over here, and then that'll be it. Okay, this is the light bake we're going to roll with. I can get as detailed as I want in the lighting, but I don't want to get detailed because I need to wrap up the stream, and it's going to take a while to render. It's not going to take 30 minutes to render. It's going to take like 10 minutes to render, though. So let's get ready to render. Ooh, let's get ready to render. Yeah. This thing is actually not going to get baked, so I got to detach that. That's another exterior piece. All right. Now let's get all these exterior pieces together. Or these aren't exterior. Whatever, that's not important. Let's get these things merged together. That's important. This is the interior, and this is the interior. Merged, okay. Here is that thing, and also looks that. Yeah. Did I lose something? I lost something. there we go. Is that right? Oh, it's not right. What's going on here? Let's work on this one. This one looks more right. So I want this thing. First of all, I want every one of these things to be unique, I think. Yeah, okay, make unique. This thing, make unique. That is unique. And then this thing, let's attach to that. These things are kept back. Kept front, and we're good. Okay. Now I just need to clone this and get it over here to the other side because this one I messed up. There's the shell. Everything else is interior. Perfect. Okay, so we'll call this shell. And we'll call this interior. Oh, this is part of the shell too. All right. We're almost ready to rock and roll. Yeah, we are ready to rock and roll. Save this thing and let's do this light bake. Almost. Okay, so here's what I got to do. I got to select the interior. The interior is not all together yet, so let's do that. Here's the floor of the interior, and we'll attach the left wall and the right wall and this thing at the end and this thing at the other end. And the lower wall, and also this lower wall. And with that, interior should all be one thing. So if I move this up and I move this down, there should be nothing left. All right, we're good. Save, make a backup copy, and the big fat bake is about to happen. Oh, no, first the unwrap. So here I have the interior, and let's unwrap it. I'm going to bake this thing to a 2K texture. I am. But first we're just going to unwrap only. That's going to give unique UV space to every surface on my model, which I'll need for this next step, where I'm going to go to save rendering, bake to texture. I'm going to add, I do a beauty and around corners usually, because I'm just doing solid colors. Depending on the situation, maybe that's good, maybe that's bad. Right here, this is going to be called Museum. I forget what this was called. I did call it Museum. I already have a web world called Museum, so I'm going to name this something else at the end. processing this thing. I can finish this while this is rendering though. So let's go ahead and set up this bake. The texture size, I'm going 2K. I should even go higher, but I'm not. The UV channel, what UV channel did I unwrap to? Oh man, wait a second. I might have screwed up my unwrap. Rendered texture. Let's go ahead and remove any unwraps. And we're gonna unwrap onto 1. I'm gonna unwrap onto 1. Usually you don't want to do that, but solid colors, it's okay. Unwrap. Okay. Now I'm unwrapped 1 on all my little solid color textures there, and I can go to bake again and say that I want to use 2K textures. These names are fine. That output is fine. Everything is fine. I'm ready to render, technically, but not exactly. So I know that this render is going to work out well. I have much confidence that this bake is going to work out well. And I don't have time to do 2 bakes, so I'm going to turn up my sampling here. You can turn it all the way up to 16. I'm going to go up to 4. I'm going to turn this one up to 4. And I'm going to turn this one up to 4. I'm going to turn them up to 8. You go up to 16. Or higher. I'm not sure. Maybe this one goes higher. Turn them all up to 8. And that's going to help reduce the noise. I got to do one more thing to help reduce the noise. Rendering, render to texture. No, it's render setup. Over here, and for the diffuse, I want to find 4. Okay, now I'm going to bake. Everybody please be patient while I bake. I'm going to show the baking process because it is pretty cool. But I saved. I'm going to go over here to that bake window and click the button to bake out these 2K textures. And it shall be glorious. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, I'm going to make a cup of coffee and I will be right back as this does its thing. Hopefully it's done by the time I get back. Then I could look at it and see how crunchy it is. If it does it really, really fast, maybe I could get another bake in that has more samples in it. But we'll try this and see how it goes. All right, making coffee. I'll be right back checking on this. And as soon as it's done, we're going to the next step. Okay, looking at the UV sheet, you can see that it's not utilizing the space on the UV sheet to its maximum potential. That's because it was just a simple auto unwrap that I applied to get unique UV space in all the surfaces. What you can do is do a better unwraps, arrange them on your texture sheet better so there's less empty spaces. And then you'll get more texture space. You get more bang for your buck. You get more texture space in the bake, not a lot of empty space in between. That helps a lot with doing quality bakes. So if you have the time, you definitely want to set up good UVs on your stuff for bakes, if you got to bake. Okay, now I do this. Save. This light and this light and this light I'm going to mark as not rendering because I shouldn't need them anymore. Because all that I should need to do is make a new texture. GLTF texture, I'm going to call it baked. And in baked, I'm going to give it my baked assets are here. Emissive. And we're going to assign that to the interiors. And there's the bake. It looks pretty good. It's low resolution. It could be high resolution, but I'll take it. Now it's taking double lighting right now because these lights are on it too, but I can tell that it's looking pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to save this and I'm going to export this, and I only need to export the insides of it. So I'm going to export selected and I'm going to export it as a GLB and call it in museum, or I'll just call it hall bake. No, hall. I'll just call it hall. I'll call it hall bake. And I'm going to test how it looks. I'm about to get it into the Somnium Space Web Worlds SDK, but first I'm just going to put it into the PlayCanvas model viewer to see if the bake worked out well. That lets me just drag and drop it here. And there it is. And that's good. Now there's crunchiness, and that's because I didn't process the texture as much as I could. In fact, I might take the time to process the texture a little more. So I can tell the renderer to take like 3 times as long to render it, and that gets rid of most of the crunchiness. And that's what you should do. However, I'm going to do a shortcut, and I'm going to remove the noise, which I have been referring to as crunchiness. I'm going to remove the noise in a graphics program instead, which is not as good as doing it in the render itself. But while that happens, let's go and set up the PlayCanvas project with the Web Worlds SDK. So you go to your PlayCanvas projects, you click Import Project, you grab your Somnium Space Web Worlds SDK version 1.1 template that you downloaded, like this. And you get this from the Somnium Space GitLab. And while that's happening, I'll grab this and open up my texture bake. And I'll run denoise on it several times. So on the left is the original, on the right will be what the denoise looks like. Alrighty. That's 50. Okay, save. Now that I saved that, when I go back into 3ds Max, it'll automatically update, and right away I'll be able to tell that a lot of the noise is gone. It appears gone. Again, it could be gone better if I just adjust the render instead. Okay, export selected into baked. There it goes. Where's that model here? There it is. So here's the old crunchy one, and then the new hotness. Not so crunchy. There's still some issues, especially because I have the normal map on it. It really makes some of the crunchiness issues come out. If I take off the normal map, it's going to look a lot better. Actually, check this out. Take off the normal map and I file, export selected. These weird lines right here are going to go away, I bet. No, they're still there. Okay, well, let's put that normal map back on then. Okay, now I have the Web Worlds template over here. I'll name this thing Museum Hall. Eventually it is going to be that portal to the other Web Worlds. Hopefully there's enough space. I didn't think of that. I have a lot of Web Worlds. Maybe I'll just have a few portals to Web Worlds. But anyways, here's the default Somnium Web Worlds SDK template. You can immediately go in and click launch after you get it imported into PlayCanvas, and that allows you to walk around and test it. Like so. Now, I don't want most of this stuff though. So I'll hide everything, and I'll just drag out the things that I think that I'll need. I will need a light, I will need the floor, and so I don't fall through the ground, and I'll need a spawn point. Let's put the spawn point over the floor, that'd be nice. And the light, let's make this a directional light, because it'll be like the sun. Not exactly sure what direction the sun's going to be coming in from yet, so I'll do something like that. I'll say cast shadows. No, we don't need to cast shadows. And then this doesn't need a render. And now I'm ready to drag and drop my GLB, Hall Bake, into my Asset Explorer. And from the Asset Explorer, after it uploads and processes, I will drag the template into my scene like so. And there is my building. A couple things that I still need to do though. So we're going to do new folder. I'm going to go a little bit over time today because I started late, maybe 5-10 minutes over time. Skybox, because I want to get this thing at least visually done, and then maybe I'll finish it off stream to get it onto a parcel somewhere. Let's go and edit this. Okay, I don't need this anymore, but I do need to go and edit my images. Here's that AI skybox that I generated earlier with Blockade Labs' thing. That's an interesting down. Interesting down. Okay, then I upload all of these textures, and I'm going to assign them to this cube map that I'll use for the envy map. I'll just call it Sky. Okay, let's get the sky set up. We got an up, we got a down. Those are always there. Now we also got a back. Well, let's find what goes in front. Okay, left goes in front. Where does right go? Right goes over there. Okay. Where does front go? Front goes over there. That means that back must go there. And unclick pre-filter cube maps. And then I go and I assign my cube map to my renderer. We're looking good. Now you can go and you could add glass here, but I don't want to add the glass because the glass is going to obstruct the view to the skybox and not really add very much stuff to the visuals in this case. So imagine the glass is there even though there's not going to be glass. But I do need a floor, and to get a floor I need a texture. And to get a texture I'll need to go into my texture library here, material library. Look for a good nice texture that goes with these bright walls. Something that's maybe a little reflective and has a little bit of a fancy material on it. That brown looks like it might go pretty well with it. Yeah, let's go with this. I'm gonna have to resize a normal map. I like using PNG resizer for that, so I don't mess with the colors too much. If I try to do it manually. I'll go 512 by 512 texture that I'm going to tile. So we'll save this 512 thing. The roughness. Maybe I want to use the glossiness. Okay, so we got this low resolution version of this thing. So it's low. That'll go there. This I'm going to take down to 512 by 512 also because I'm going to be tiling it, and I'll put it in here. And for the glossiness, I think I might want that. Now, let's upload these. I could make a glass material at this point. What's up, Humongous? Welcome to the show. I could make a glass material at this point, but instead I'm going to not, because it's just going to eat frame rate. It needs to be huge pieces of glass. And everywhere you can see the skybox from, it would be through glass. I got these materials here. Let's make a 3D renderer plane. And we'll assign a new material that I have yet to make, actually. And tile, we have a diffuse, and we have a normal and a gloss. Cool. Okay. This object we want not to use lighting. Okay, we do want to use some lighting. But over here, excuse me, on the floor, excuse me, renderer, we'll want that. And this, I want to take lighting. I'm going to turn shadows on in a moment. Maybe I won't turn shadows on, actually. Okay, there's our ground. We could make it take shadows, which would be a nice effect. But maybe we could do something else to give it a nice effect. How's it going to look in here? I don't see a reflection really happening on this floor. There we go. That's more like it. Okay, now the actual floor collider. Let's make that big enough. Okay, I think that will do. I think that this is the structure that's going to house all the portals. This should be very, very VR friendly, especially because I didn't add the glass planes in, although right now in my head I'm debating adding these glass planes in. Let's finish the collisions though, because the collisions are actually not complete. The collisions also need to happen over here, along the wall. Okay, now there's colliders on the walls. Thinking of adding the glass. They would be gigantic pieces of glass. I don't think that I should. I won't. We'll imagine the glass for now. Okay, I think that this is going to be the build for today. Let me see here. I got 10 minutes maybe. Could I get this on a parcel? I could. I got to take screenshots, and the screenshots are going to involve getting it on a parcel. So let's do that. Let's get this on a parcel, and this is good. I can show something else cool that is getting ready. So this is it's going to be a portal hub with portals on the walls to a bunch of other web worlds. I'm going to store it in the same web world, in the same GitHub repo that all my other web worlds are stored in. I consolidated everything to be nice and together. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's rename this thing. How do we rename this thing? Let me rename it here. Oh, there it is. It's good. Museum Hall. Optimize scene format and all that. We're going to download this. We're going to download this. We're going to unzip this. And open it up. This is our thing that we want to upload. We're going to put it on the GitHub. Here's the other web worlds. I have them all in one repo now. I'm going to remove the other repos eventually after I get everything moved over with the references. But Som web worlds, all of them are in here, and I'm going to add a new one. I need to name this folder what I want this called. I'm going to call this Museum Hall. That's what I'll call it. And we will add file, upload files. I'm just going to drag and drop the museum. Oh, wait. I did not basis compress stuff. Let's do that. Let's basis compress these. And I'm even going to basis compress my gigantic material bake. And I'm going to basis compress the skybox, which is going to make it look more crunchy. But that's the price you pay for being hyper optimized. So this is a cloud process. I actually have to wait till these little things finish spinning all by themselves. This one image was 1.18 megabytes. Now it's 1.42 kilobytes. Look at the crunchiness that happened to my normals. That's pretty rough, man. That's pretty rough. Let's see here. Not my normals, my bake here. So this brought it down from 1 megabyte to 200 kilobytes, but it totally destroyed my quality. Let's try something different. Let's try, it's not that big of a file anyway, so let's just uncompress that. That looks much better. And there's only one of them. Now when I look at this one, that's fine. I think that should be fine. Let's test it out one more time. I'm going to have to download it one more time also. It makes the skybox so crunchy that I kind of want to add the glass. Let's see about that real quick. So, if I had glass, I would want something like a blue tint on it. Maybe. I'd want the specular to be metallic and be super glossy and metallic. And for opacity, and something like that. Let's see how that would look on a 3D render or a render of a plane. Okay, I'm going to go with the glass because it hides the lack of detail in the skybox back there. Because I destroyed the detail in the skybox when I applied the compression to it. I don't know if this is the best excuse me, choice, because this is going to be a lot of transparent surfaces to pull this off. There's that one, there's this one. A lot of actual surface area of transparent surfaces too, which is even worse. There's this one. And then for these in between, okay. Then there's this. Okay. Okay, I think that glass looks pretty good, and it hides the crunchiness that I added in the skybox. I think the level's better for it. It seems a little bit too bright in here. If I select this thing and I tell it not to take lighting, will it be less bright? No, it's about the same brightness. Actually, no, it should be a little darker. Let's do that. That'll be more optimized. Now, if I don't take lighting, can't I remove the normal map and not even notice? No. But if I turn up the normal map, maybe I'll notice more. Yeah. Let's do that. Let's have the normal map turned way up. Is there any other weird thing I could do to make this look cool? I could do that. That makes it a little too bright though. Nope, I'll just keep it down there. Okay, once again, we're good. Let's do this build again. The normal map is there. Okay, so build this thing. Unzip the thing that you download. That's what you're going to be uploading. Go to your GitHub or your web space. If you're hosting on your own web space, you just got to be self-hosted somewhere. I got this one set up for it. We're going to upload files. I got to make sure that my folder is called Museum Hall. Like that. Okay, 43 files. It should be real quick. I wonder how big this whole project is. 10 megabytes, not so bad because it has a bunch of template stuff in it too. It's going to take a moment to process this, and then it's going to take a moment to get it onto a parcel after it or onto GitHub pages. Then I got to go to somniumspace.com, parcel/338, and I got to find a place to put this build. What am I going to do? Am I going to replace the car show here? I might. It doesn't matter too much what I replace right now because we're going to be shuffling around what worlds are on what parcels one day soon. Where am I putting this? Where am I putting this? I could replace the campfire world there. or I could replace the car world. This would be my two immediate options. I think that I'm going to replace or I could replace this world here. Let's replace this one. The fashion world's so nice for meeting in. This car one is nice too, though. So is that one. Let's try for one more. Let's give us something better to open right here. I might just have to temporarily put it on 3388, which is what I'm looking at here. Yeah, okay, so until I find a better home for this web world, I should put it on the fashion parcel, which is like 1760 something. Oh, here we go, 2701. I'll replace this old world. This is a nice world. It's not very mobile optimized because it uses a bunch of different textures and stuff. But okay, so you uploaded the thing to your web space. If it's GitHub pages, you have to wait for it to build and deploy. I'm still waiting for it to build and deploy here, so I'm not ready to assign my URL just yet. It's in progress though. It's good. From 3 hours ago, it's up, but I need the one from 2 minutes ago to be up. Probably taking longer because I have so many files in this repo now. So as I wait here, this is the parcel it's going to go into. I can close out some of these apps. Oh, actually, I'm going to leave them open because I'm going to use these to take screenshots. Maybe I'll do that while I wait. Perfect screenshot here. That's pretty good. Anybody know how to post a video and a screenshot at the same time in one tweet? I might have to ask ChatGPT how to do this. They're still not deployed. It's still not ready to go. Okay, as I keep an eye on that, I can't get my other two screenshots until afterwards. So let's ask ChatGPT if it knows how to tweet a video and an image. I'll just ask Google. You can't do it from desktop. You have to do it from your mobile device. No wonder I couldn't do it. Weird. Okay, it finished building now. It's just deploying. That's good. I can't do that from desktop. Why? Why not? Did I not save the image that this was based on? That would have been cool to put in the tweet. But I don't think that I saved it. Oh, wrapping up the stream here. I'm quite a bit over time. I'm a little concerned I might be cutting into somebody else's time now. Okay, there. We're deployed. Okay, so this is test mode. It looks exactly like you were testing from PlayCanvas. You look good. Okay, let's close this and assign it to our web world here. First of all, let me turn off Bloom and that, because that might be a bit much after I get this new web world in. Advanced settings, we're a holistic world. I'll have to take a new screenshot. Oh, I forgot to put a tracked camera in. Oh no, I'll have to do that next time. I always forget that. They're good to animate anyways, but any attract camera would have been nice. All right. It might be a little bright with some of these post-processing. The bloom might be a bit heavy. I might actually want to take my screenshot again without the bloom. No, the bloom. I love bloom. I might like bloom more than a normal person though. I like it a lot. Keep that bloom. Let's keep that bloom. All right. That's it. Look, when I refresh, it's going to show the right parcel. I'm going to take some screenshots. Unfortunately, I can't post the video and images at the same time because I'm not on mobile, but I'll be able to take some good screenshots and put it in there with that one development screenshot of 3ds Max. I could talk about the bake, and hopefully people find that interesting on the Twitter. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. This was a start to finish speed run on a hyper-optimized 3D modeling and baking of something from completely scratch, except for the floor. I used a material from GameTextures.com there. Empty hall. Maybe it will be, who knows what it will be in the future. Right now, it's an empty hall. I was planning to put a bunch of portals into it. That'll probably be what will be in here next time. But I'll see you all next time, which will be Monday, for the exciting continuation and hopefully conclusion of what is going to be inside this empty hall. Once again, I'm SM SithLord. This is the twice a week stream you're watching right here that happens on Mondays and Fridays at the same time. And I'll see you all next time.